Hey everybody, Joel here. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. First and foremost, Happy New Year. Today I want to talk to you about how to set real resolutions. And I don't like to call them resolutions, I like to call them plans. How to set a real plan so that you set real goals and you actually accomplish those goals. Roughly 90% of people who set a New Year's resolution within the first 30 days, they're not even thinking about it anymore. And of the 90% or the 100% of people who set goals, most people don't even get them started. So I want to give you some concrete steps on how to create a proper actionable plan to make your goals real rather than resolutions, right? A resolution is what? A resolution is a wish. A plan is actionable and goal. So first and foremost, write it down on paper and put it on your vision board. What's a vision board? Well, it should be something somewhere, either in your home office or somewhere that you look at on a daily basis. And so write down what your goals are and then subcategorize those goals with actionable steps to reach those goals. So as an example, let's say I decided I wanted to lose 10 pounds of fat, okay? Well, I know that I'm going to have to, in order to accomplish that goal, one, I want to set a deadline. So that deadline could be, and by the way, set realistic deadlines, right? I've seen some people create deadlines where they want to lose 100 pounds in 45 days. Well, that's self-sabotage, and that's something else we'll talk about in a minute. But you want to create actionable steps towards a goal. So first and foremost, write it down, set a realistic time frame. So again, if I wanted to lose 10 pounds in 30 days, I'll write down the first date, which would be January 1st, and the final date, January 30th, and I want to lose 10 pounds. And then what do I have to do to accomplish that goal? Well, I know that I'm going to have to increase my fiber intake from about 10 grams per day till about 30 grams per day. That's number one. That's going to help to suppress my appetite, right? So it doesn't matter whether your goals are financial, physical, whatever. The key components is number one, write it down. And number two, create an action plan of subcategorizing those steps so that you actually make it happen. So continuing with my example, I'm going to have to increase my fiber. I'm going to have to increase my protein by another 50 to 100 grams per day. And I'm going to still have to consistently do my 7-minute workouts. And I'm going to make myself accountable by weighing myself every single day. And if I find that I'm not quite reaching that goal, then what's my backup plan? I'll increase and do a little bit of extra cardiovascular exercise at the same time to reach those goals. Hey, Jorge. Hey, Rachel. Hey, everybody. Hey, Eve and Anna. Nice to see you guys. So that's number one. Now, number two, those are your concrete steps. Number two, why is it that most people self-sabotage themselves when they try to reach any goal in life? And it comes back to how our hardwiring is. Our hardwiring is set for safety, okay? Our hardwiring is set for comfort. Our hardwiring is set to stay within our comfort zone. So what happens is there's a perception or perceived value around pain, right? Everything that the human mind does, it will move away from pain and towards pleasure. Now, the default pleasure is safety, right? That's why we don't do anything a lot of the time. So it served us well in our nomadic days. This hardwiring of safety served us very well in our nomadic days because, we stayed in groups, we stayed in numbers, we stayed comfortable because the reality of being killed by a wild animal or a competitive tribe or whatever, the reality was the possibility of death was 100% real, right? 100% real. Today, it serves us absolutely no good at all. So, self-sabotage. Why is it that we start to reach towards a goal and then we are like almost there, we're this close, and then we pull away, right? We stop doing it. It's because of the perception of pain and fear. And it is just that, it's a perception. Because the mind will always work or move towards pleasure and away from pain. Always, 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 always. The mind, that's how our mind works. So what you have to do is rewire your brain to, as you get closer and closer to each goal, to this sense of pleasure, okay? So what is the number one cause of pain? Well, failure. And sometimes even the cause of perception of pain is also success, right? Let's say I reach my goal of 10 pounds, but I'm fearful that if I look in the mirror and I'm still not happy with what I look like, You know, those are the defaults. Rather than celebrating that I lost the 10 pounds, maybe I don't look exactly how I wanted to look like or what my perception was. But again, our default is to always hardwire ourselves back to moving away from pain and towards pleasure. So we'll create false pain in our minds. We'll create false fear in our minds. So that's the other thing you want to do to stop the self-sabotage. So let's say that I'm reluctant to lose my 10 pounds because number one, what if I don't reach that goal? And number two, what if I reach that goal, but I'm still not satisfied, right? Well, let's look at those two objections, and you can put this across any type of goal that you're trying to reach. Ask yourself this, okay, if I don't lose the 10 pounds, what's the worst case scenario? Maybe I lost 6. Then I ask myself, is that going to kill me? Literally, because that's our default, right? Our perception is to move away from pain and fear and danger, right? To move away from the danger. Well, is that dangerous, or is that moving me in a positive direction? So even if I don't reach my goal and I lose 6 pounds, am I better off losing 6 pounds than losing no weight whatsoever? Yes, right? So that's a way of always, so the key is to look at what's stopping you and create a positive around it. So if I deep down know that I'm just fearful that I won't reach my goal, or I reach my goal and I'm not going to look as good as I want to look, well, then here's the key, right? That's number one. The second one is, well, maybe I lose the 10 pounds and I look in the mirror and I don't look how I perceived I was going to look. Well, the positive in that is am I going to look better than I do now? The answer is yes. But you can see how we create those negative thought patterns in our head, which stop us and create the self-sabotage before we even get started. So let's use another goal as an example. Let's say my next goal is to increase my income by $1,000 extra by the end of this month, okay? Let's look at a financial goal. Well, the number, first and foremost, I gotta write that goal down, put it on my vision board. Let's say I'm making $12,000 a month now, and by this time next month, I wanna make $13,000 or $14,000, right? Give myself a little bit of a range, give myself the ability to possibly fail, so forth, so I create a range. So let's say my income's $12,000, I want it to go between $13,000 and $14,000. Number one, I'm gonna write that down. Number two, I wanna create my sub patterns under that of the specific steps that I need to do to get there. Well, if I have 1,000 customers that's making me $12,000, then I know I need roughly 1,100 customers to start making $13,000 or $14,000, right? So what are the steps I'm going to take to try to get to $13,000, or more specifically, what are the steps I'm going to take to acquire 100 customers this month, right? Now, again, be forgiving, because the default pattern will be, well, what if I fail? What if I don't hit 100 customers? Well, what if you only pick up 15 new customers? Ask yourself the same question. Are you better off with 15 new customers or no customers? Obviously, you're better off with some customers. That's number one. So are you going to reach the goal? And then number two, what are the specific steps I need to take to acquire 100 more customers? And for me, I would say, well, I need to talk to probably roughly 8 to 10 people per day, because not everybody says yes, right? If my closing rate is going to be 10%, what do I need to do to get 100 new customers in 1 month? So well, I'll have to talk to 10 or 20 new people a day, or send 1 or 2 new emails, or even easier, send 1 or 2 new Facebook posts, or 1 or 2 new Instagram posts. There's specifics to reach your goals. And again, the fear of failure or the fear of success is always there. So the other fear that I might have is that if my goal was to hit from $12,000 to $14,000 and I only hit $12,400, well, again, I have to ask myself, I didn't quite reach my goal, but am I better off with an extra $400 per month, yes or no? So again, is the pain real? Ask yourself that. And what do I mean by, is the pain and fear and danger real? You ask yourself one question: is this going to kill me or not? Literally, am I going to die from this? And more so, am I going to benefit from this, whether I reach the goal or I don't reach the goal? Does that make sense? Right? That's the key to not creating self-sabotage and being forgiving on not necessarily reaching your specific goal, because you set that goal And if that fear is there, then guess what? That's why most people never, ever, they create a New Year's resolution and they don't even create the plan, right? I can say I want to make $14,000 by the end of this month, but if I don't take the necessary steps to get there, it's never going to happen. I can say I want to lose 10 or 20 pounds by the end of this month, but if I don't take the necessary steps to do so, it's not going to happen. And again, the reason why most people don't do it is because of internal mental self-sabotage, and that's why they don't take action at all. So, and the last thing I want to say is you have to have a very, very, very strong why. Why do I want to reach $14,000? Well, maybe reaching $14,000 is going to allow me to put away an additional $4,000 per month. If I put an additional $4,000 per month away, that's going to give me an additional cash flow of $50,000 a year that I can invest to create even more cash flow, right? You've got to have an end game in mind. You have to have a strong why, because you have to be passionate towards your end game and your goals. On the weight loss side, if I lose an extra 15 pounds, I'm probably going to manage my diabetes better. I'm probably going to have a lower A1C. I'm going to definitely have more energy. I'm going to look a little bit better in the mirror. You know, these are the things that you have to really look at, is what is your why? Now, your why could be totally different. I know Cynthia's on this call. Her why was so that she could spend more time with her grandkids, so that she could play with her grandkids. Her why was to get herself out of personal and physical pain. So don't create goals if you aren't, one, passionate about it, and two, have strong belief in the why you're doing it in the first place. So for me, you know, looking at what are my specific goals for this year? Well, my specific goals for this year is definitely with Now Lifestyle to go out and find more fitness passionate people. At the moment, we have a lot of people who want to make a great income, which is awesome, right? But it's probably an 80% I want to make more money and a 20% I want to get in better shape, right? And the reality is the opposite should be true, and here's why. If you get in better shape, you're going to make more money. Why is that? Because if you actually become a product of the product, you're going to see the results. And when you see the results, it's going to increase your confidence. It's going to increase your posture. It's going to increase your belief. And your beliefs is what dictates your actions, right? So if you become a product of the product, better. But nevertheless, what are my specific goals? My specific goals is to go out there. So there's two types of people that we have in Now Lifestyle right now. We have people who have an unwavering belief that they want to make more money. And hey, if I can get into shape, great. And then the other type of person is somebody who's in really good shape or wants to be in really good shape. They want to eliminate their diabetes. They want to eliminate their obesity. They want to get rid of their osteoporosis. They have a strong why associated, maybe their why, their passion is their mother died of diabetes, their aunt died of diabetes, whatever the case is. So we have people who have strong whys around the health and wellness, but their limiting belief that they have the skills to make more income is a little bit lower, right? So those are the two challenges that we face at Now Lifestyle all the time. A lot of people who want to make money, but they don't have an internal belief that they can get in shape, and the other is true as well. Some people that really want to get in really good shape, but they're wavering towards, how do I promote this to make more money? So what I'm specifically doing is I'm spending more and more time doing direct advertising to weight loss groups, to self-help groups. There's hundreds, if not thousands of groups on Facebook that I can market to, centered around strictly weight loss. I'm going to be creating more opt-in pages around that, so on and so forth. So again, I have a specific goal in mind. I want to balance out the income seekers versus the health people, and I have a specific action plan to do so. Here's the thing. Do I know exactly how I'm going to do it? Well, my starting point, as I said, is I'm going to start advertising to groups that are in the weight loss space, right? There's thousands of them on Facebook. Do I know specifically if that's going to work? No, I don't. But what's the outcome? The outcome is I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to learn. There's no such thing as a failure. There's always a learning experience. So those are my specific goals, is to get more health and wellness people involved in the now lifestyle and teach those people how to make income from home if they want to do so. So that's my tips for today, folks. Happy New Year to you all. If you want a resolution, don't call it a resolution, call it a plan. Make sure you have a strong passion and a strong why around your resolution. Write your resolution down and make the actionable steps below it of what specifics you need to do to reach that goal. So anyway, folks, have yourself an awesome, wonderful, amazing day. Love you all, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Happy New Year.